Snakes. Not everyone's idea of a cute, cuddly creature.
But imagine being a zoologist with an intense fear of these incredible animals, like Sarah Blake.
If I see a snake, I start hyperventilating, if I start sweating, I feel very sick.
Sarah travels the world working for a wildlife charity, but her phobia is making it impossible for her to do her job.
I'd love to be able to go to somewhere like Vietnam, walk through a path in the jungle and not feel any form of anxiety. So I've tried lots of different types of therapy. None of them have worked. I was really excited about the Speakmans because they get the result that I'm after.
We're at Paradise Wildlife Park today, meeting Sarah, a zoologist who has a phobia of snakes.
It's affecting her life and it's affecting her job.
Yep, Sarah doesn't know whether she's going to be able to carry on in her career unless we help her to overcome this fear. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
How
nice
are
to meet you guys. I'm okay.
And I'm not going to lie, we've been quite excited about meeting you.
It's a big paradox, the fact that you are a zoologist and yet frightened of snakes.
Yeah.
And that's what we loved, really.
Yeah.
Do you think we can get you over this today?
I'm sceptical but hopeful.
That's
Okay.
good enough for us.
Good.
Let's have a little wander.
Yeah, let's go.
The first step in helping Sarah overcome her phobia is for Nick and I to see how she reacts to a snake. So we've brought her to the reptile house.
Shall we go in?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, what's that picture? If you guys could open that door for me, that would be great.
So you would struggle to open the door because...
Yes.
And why would that be difficult?
Because there's a snake pointing towards me, yeah.
But you're struggling.
Yeah.
Do you want me
Okay.
to open the door or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sarah's being really brave, but how will she take being inside?
Oh, sorry, I've just seen the anaconda, sorry.
What's he seen?
He's just at the back there, draped.
Oh.
Sarah is really struggling with this because she loves animals and yet she's terrified of snakes. So she's got this internal conflict going on all the time. What's really interesting, she's terrified of pictures of snakes, which gives us a clue, really. I really feel that this started with a picture or even a movie and a snake wasn't involved.
We're all good.
With that thought in mind, it's time to dig deeper and help Sarah understand her fear. So tell me, around the age of 8 or before, any memories of anything to do with snakes whatsoever that you have?
I know I had a really strong reaction to Fantasia, but that doesn't actually have any snakes in it. But I was very scared of, like, the thunder god and that.
Tell me what the thunder god did.
He pelted people with thunderbolts. I didn't used to like that.
You've created this aversion to snakes based on something that you've made up as a child. And it's so made up that you can't even find a link, which is why it could possibly be Fantasia, because that was snake-like.
Could it be something that simple? Like,
Well, it usually is, to
It
be
usually
fair.
is.
Sarah's proven to be really challenging because she's reluctant to let this fear go until we can provide her with how this phobia started. But we actually really don't know. What we do know is that she's got it wrong.
You're a zoologist. Everything that you do is based on fact, and yet you've been believing something that's entirely not true.
She needs to come onto our side and see that she's actually misinterpreted her belief about snakes.
So in a situation where you walk into a snake's habitat and the snake jumps up and then slithers away, who's fighting who? I'll put it another way then. Who should be there and who...
the snake should be there and I should.
Right. We're finally making progress with Sarah, but we won't know for sure until we take her back to the reptile house and see some snakes. How does that feel now? Look.
That feels okay, actually, yeah.
Ah, good.
Oh, see.
I want you to touch
Just
the
bear in
door.
mind a second, it feels okay.
Yeah.
Right, amazing.
I'm very
Amazing,
proud
well
of
done.
you. Sarah's almost frightened of admitting that she feels better. But when we got to the reptile house and she touched the door and touched the picture of the snake, we knew there'd been a change.
He is moving, which used to be quite a big trigger, and it's not anymore, so that's good.
Yes. Yes.
That is really, really good. That is really good. That shows the adult overrode the child. There was a natural level of apprehension, but what was really nice was to see that whereas the first time we were in there was fear, this time she was inquisitive.
I definitely have noticed a difference. Shall I try and hold on?
I think you should have a hold on.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been some progress made.
Be a tree.
Sometimes I think people think that there's a switch and you can turn a phobia off, but you have to work at it. I think Sarah's a great example of no matter how long you've had a phobia, that you can overcome it.
This Sarah's being a zoologist without exception.
I mean, what a way to sort it out. They're incredible. I've never seen them fail.
I love the Speakmans.